I can't believe I'm actually reading some Tottenham fans want Thomas Frank out, and it's been 13 games. In fact, it's actually been 12 games. One in the League Cup, three in the Champions League, and eight in the Premier League. And our fans, some of them are losing their mind. Don't get me wrong, it is slightly boring and slightly is a bit of an understatement. But sacking Thomas Frank right now is not going to solve anything. Like, I get it. We've completely done a 180. We've gone from playing, gung ho attacking football where we had no stability, where we were open at the back like there was no tomorrow. And I'm looking at us right now, and we are quite boring to watch. But you've also got to look at some of the injuries we've got. You've also got to look at some of the actual context. Dominic Solanke, I don't even think has played a minute for us this season in all comps. Kolo Muani, for whatever reason, has only ever played in the Champions League or a handful of minutes in the Premier League. Mohamed Kudus is the only wire player we've got who can actually beat his man successfully and put a cross in. Richarlison is not good enough to lead the line for Spurs. You're like, there are a lot of things to be frustrated at when it comes to Thomas Frank. That same double pivot keeps playing, whether it's Paulinho and Bentancur. But Frank might be sitting there thinking, these are the only two midfielders I can trust in the double pivot. We had a back line yesterday of Archie Gray playing in left back. There are a lot of things to question, but Thomas Frank right now has got us unbeaten in the Champions League, and we have been outplayed in two of those three games. It's amazing we've still got a draw in both of those games against Bodo and against Monaco. We're unbeaten away from home this season in all comps. Like, there's a lot of things to be positive about. There are some negatives, but I don't think I am well behind Thomas Frank. I think long-term, he's the right manager for the job. I just don't necessarily know if we did enough in the transfer market. I don't necessarily know if we're doing enough right now to maximize this squad. So we're going to break it all down. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. That would be greatly appreciated. The road to 10,000 subscribers is well and truly on. Please go down, smash that subscribe button, and let me know your thoughts. I've seen a lot of people today frustrated over the socials. We drew yesterday against Monaco, and it wasn't the first time we've got a draw this season and we were outplayed. It's probably the fourth or fifth time we've done it this season, or at least third time. More than double the shots Monaco had, more than 4 times the amount of shots on target, 4 more big chances created than us, XG a lot higher than us. It's. I don't necessarily think we deserved anything out of that game. I think we were completely outplayed. We have played, Leeds away, won, Monaco away, drew, Bodo away, drew, Brighton away, we drew, West Ham away, we won, City away, we won. We haven't lost a game away from home this season in all competitions. We've got a really tough game away from home this Sunday against Everton. I am not confident by any stretch of the imagination. This was the lineup that played yesterday. It's the day after, so we can kind of look through and break things down a little bit more. The back line was Archie Gray, Porro, Danso, and Van der Ven. No Spence, no Udogi, no Romero. Xavi Simons was on the bench. Brennan Johnson was on the bench. But I don't like this midfield of Bergvall in the 10. You got Xavi Simons who can play in the 10. Again, he needs some criticism. I think some of the criticism he has received, however, is slightly over the top. But we should have lost this game. Vicario made an absolute howler against Aston Villa in terms of his goal positioning. However, today, or yesterday, I should say, he was very, very good. Kept us in the game. This bench, however, Kolo Muani, we signed this guy from PSG. He's barely played. He has barely played. I don't even think he's played 90 minutes across all competitions combined. Brennan Johnson had that chance, didn't take it. Xavi Simons hasn't stepped up really. Sarr, I don't think he's going to play much at the moment in time, looking because this double pivot seems to be playing. When you look at the injuries we were without Tell, Davis. Obviously, Tell can't play because of his not registered for the Champions League. We've got James Maddison out with an ACL injury. We've got Dragusin out with an ACL injury. We've got, Kulusevski, who will hopefully be back at some point next month. And I look at, Romero, Davis. Romero should be back for the Everton game. Our win percentage when Romero is not in the team is absolutely ridiculous. I'm looking at that right now. There's a lot of Solanke's out as well. So out of when you say first team players, Maddison, Kulusevski, Udogie, Romero, Solanke, that's 5 of our first 11 that should be playing. Basuma squad depth, Takai squad depth, we've barely even seen him yet. Davis squad depth, Tell squad depth. There is context that needs to be applied. We are missing a lot of players, but boy, oh boy, some of the players that are playing have been, let's just be frank, excuse the pun, but let's just be frank, they have been poor. Richarlison, poor. Odegaard, poor. Bergvall, poor. Our best forward this season has been Mohamed Kudus. He's the only forward we've got this season who can get on the ball and dictate games. And I'm being honest with you, I'm looking at our games coming forward. I don't think we're going to win a huge amount of these. Everton away on Sunday has got curtains written all over it. Newcastle United away in the Cup. Chelsea at home. Chelsea have got a very good record at our place. Copenhagen in the Champions League. We don't win that, we don't qualify. It's as simple as that. We have to beat Copenhagen and Slavia Prague to progress in the next round of the Champions League. Man United, we beat them 4 times last season. This season, I don't know. They've won their last 2. They've beaten Liverpool. They've beaten Chelsea at home. Their away record's not great, but it's still Man United. And then we got Arsenal away and PSG away in a matter of 3 days. So, to be completely honest with you, I'm not confident one bit. I am not confident one bit. I'm really, really not. Because I'm looking at this team right now. Yes, we'll have Romero back for Everton. I reckon we at best get a draw. Everton have been good at home this season. Newcastle United, though, Wednesday night. Chelsea at home. Copenhagen at home. And Man United at home. Bearing in mind, the only 2 games we've lost at home this season. Sorry, the only 2 games we've lost this season have both been at home. I'm not confident. I am not confident. Then after the PSG game, you look at going into December. We've got Fulham away, Fulham at home, Newcastle United away again in the Premier League. We've got Forest away, Palace away, Liverpool at home, Brentford away. Thomas Frank needs to get players back and needs to find a way to win football matches because we've only won 2 of our last 7. We are drawing a lot of games this season. In terms of overall draws this season, we've drawn against Monaco, we've drawn against Bodo, we've drew against Wolves, we've drew against Brighton. Should have lost to Wolves, should have lost to Bodo, should have beat Brighton. You look at our last 7 games. We beat Doncaster, drew to Wolves, drew to Bodo. Beat Leeds, lost to Villa, drew to Monaco. That is a sign of an inconsistent side. Now, what is that because? Is that because of I don't think that Thomas Frank should be getting sacked. I think that is madness. Everyone's new at this football club now. Paratici is new back to his new role. Xavi Simons is new to the 10 role. Thomas Frank and his coaching staff are new to Tottenham. It is going to take some time, but at the same time, we can't be getting battered like this. We just can't. Categorically, we can't. I'm looking at it right now. I don't think he should be sacked by any stretch of the imagination. But, yeah, for me, simply not good enough. And then I'm looking at that. If we lose that Everton game, that would be 1 win in our last 4 games. Sorry. 1 win in our last 6 games. If we lose to Everton, which is a side out of form. And we will really learn about what Tottenham are doing right now going forward. I mean, sacking Frank is absolutely madness. Absolutely madness. Drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. I'm out.